My beloved child, I've waited long for this moment, and please understand with urgency right now that what I speak now can't be delayed, because these words are not ordinary words, but living truth, carrying the weight of heaven into your present hour, and they will stir within you a fire you can't quench, because you have been searching, asking, yearning, and I've seen how you pressed forward even when quiet surrounded you. But now the quiet breaks, and I'm telling you that this moment is set apart in the scroll of time, marked by my hand, because the things I reveal now are things hidden since the beginning, and they are for you, for your generation, for your bloodline, for your household. And they come with urgency right now because there is no time to waste. The night has been long, but dawn has broken, and please not hesitate in receiving the fullness of what I'm about to pour into your life. Because the storm you endured was not punishment, but preparation. It was not abandonment, but alignment. Every tear that fell has been gathered, every cry that rose has been heard, and now I move swiftly because your waiting season is collapsing into a moment of release. And though the enemy whispered that you were forgotten, I thunder over you now that you are chosen. You are marked, you are seen, and I won't let another day pass without showing you that I've been walking with you through fire, through flood, through darkness, through rejection, through pain, and I'm now raising you up for a testimony that no man, no voice, no opposition will be able to deny. And so I'm saying to you, stay alert, stay awake. Don't grow weary now, because this is the hour of unveiling. This is the moment where chains break and truth explodes like light into your life. And what you thought you lost is returning in a greater measure. What you thought was dead is coming alive with breath from my spirit. And what you thought was delayed is arriving suddenly, like a flood rushing down from the mountain, unstoppable, undeniable, unshakable. Because I've declared it so. And no power in the earth or under the earth will overturn my decree. And please cling tightly, my dear one, for storms will still roar around you. But this time, they won't consume you. They will testify of my strength within you, because I'm filling you with courage that won't collapse, peace that can't be stolen, and fire that can't be extinguished. And as you hear my words now, know that you are standing in a crossing moment, a point in history where your faith has summoned my intervention. And I'm here, I'm near, I'm moving. And every second from this moment forward will reveal that my plans are alive, that my promises are active, and that my hand is stretched out to lift you where you could never climb by yourself. And this is why I told you I have waited long for this moment, because now you are ready. Now you will see. Now you will walk in what was once only dreamed of. And the testimony that flows from you will become a signal fire to those lost in their own darkness, pointing them back to me, because I've chosen you for this, and I'm telling you right now, do not turn away, do not shrink back, do not let doubt steal what I'm declaring right now. It is time, child, it is time, it is time. You have walked through storms, my dear one. But let me tell you right now that none of those storms were random. None of them were wasted, and none of them escaped my gaze. Because each trial that rose against you carried within it a secret shaping, a refining of your spirit, a strengthening of your heart. And though you often felt you were drowning in the weight of pressure, I was there anchoring you in unseen ways, holding you when your own strength failed, guiding you when confusion clouded your vision. And even when you thought you would not make it through another night, my hand sustained you. because I would not allow destruction to consume you, because you are mine, marked with my seal, and I won't forsake what belongs to me. So hear me with urgency right now. The very winds that sought to scatter, you are now testifying to your endurance. The waves that rose high to intimidate you are bowing to my authority. And the fire that burned around you is now the evidence that I was with you inside the furnace, ensuring that not a single thread of your destiny would be consumed. And while you looked at the chaos and thought you were abandoned, I was writing your story in those moments. I was chiseling away the fear that once bound you. And I was preparing you for a stage that demands resilience, because what is coming requires you to stand unshaken, unbent, unafraid. And so the storms you survived have become proof that you carry strength greater than the enemy's schemes. And that strength did not come from within your flesh, but from the spirit I placed within in you. The spirit that can't be broken. The spirit that rises like a lion, even when everything outside you tries to quiet its roar. And this is why I say with urgency, you are stronger now than you realize. Because storms have been your training ground, pain has been your preparation, rejection has been your redirection, and all of it has brought you to this appointed season, where you will no longer merely survive but rise. You will no longer hide in the shadows, but shine in the open. And those who doubted your endurance will witness with trembling that I carried you through what was designed to end you. And they will see that my hand was not only a shield, but a weapon that turned every storm into a stepping stone, every wave into a platform, every battle into a breakthrough. And as you stand now in this very moment, know with urgency right now that the storms behind you are not just memories, but monuments. They testify that I'm faithful. They declare that I don't abandon my dear Honoren, and they prove that when I say you will live, you won't die. When I say you will overcome, no force can keep you defeated. When I say you are chosen, no lie can disqualify you. Because my word over you stands unshakable. And it is my word, not the storm, that has the final say in your life. So let your heart breathe again. Let your soul rise in confidence. Let your spirit burn with fire. Because what is coming next will demand the strength you have gained. And you will walk into it not as the same person who entered the storm, but as one transformed, refined, made ready for glory. And this is why I remind you now with urgency right now. Dear one, you walked through storms, but you did not remain in them. You are crossing over. You are standing on the other side. You are stepping into the place where storms lose their power, and my promise begins to shine. And from this moment onward, nothing will ever look the same again. What you believe it to be quiet was never neglect. My dear one, for while you thought heaven withheld its voice, I was weaving threads of destiny behind the veil, ranging alignments you could not yet perceive, building bridges where you only saw distance, and shifting pieces on the board of your life so that at the appointed hour, everything would converge in your favor. And though you wondered if I had forgotten, I was orchestrating details too intricate for your eyes to trace, setting in motion answers before you ever knew what to ask, preparing provision before the need could even arise. And this is why I'm telling you with urgency right now. You can't judge my presence by the sound you hear or the sight you see, because I often move in hidden realms, planting seeds beneath the soil of time, waiting for the precise season to bring forth harvest. And while you cried out in longing, thinking I delayed, I was ensuring that nothing premature would rob you of fullness. Because I'm not a God of fragments, but of completion. And I won't hand you pieces that fall apart. I will deliver the whole promise when your spirit is ready to carry it. So understand this moment right now. The hidden seasons were not emptiness, but preparation. They were not void, but incubation. They were not quiet, but symphonies being composed in secret. And now you stand at the doorway, where what was concealed bursts forth into reality, where what was whispered in darkness is shouted in light, and where what was withheld is suddenly released with power. And as I reveal this to you, know that I've already dispatched answers that will overtake you quickly, blessings that will interrupt ordinary days and breakthroughs that will shatter long-standing walls. And you will see clearly that I was working while you were waiting. I was fighting while you were weary. I was arranging while you were asking, and I was defending while you were doubting. Because even in your uncertainty, my love held you fast. And I'm telling you now with urgency right now, prepare your heart, for manifestations are about to collide with your reality. Unprayed desires are being fulfilled. Delayed petitions are being answered, and hidden treasures are being unveiled, not by your striving, but by my design. And the days ahead will testify that my quiet was not abandonment, but strategy. It was not absence, but nearness in disguise. And soon you will say with your own mouth, if he had spoken sooner, I would have missed this perfect timing. Because what I'm releasing now could only come after the shaping, after the hiddenness, after the waiting. And this is why I urge you, my dear one, don't despise the quiet, for it birthed the strength you need to steward what is coming. And don't curse the waiting, for it carved out the space to hold greater glory. And don't question the unseen, for it has proven more powerful than what is visible. And as you step forward from this moment, know with urgency right now that you will begin to perceive my hand in places you overlooked. You won't trace divine patterns in what you once called coincidences. You will uncover answers folded into the very things you thought were delays. And you will realize that I've always been near, closer than your breath, nearer than your thoughts, guiding every step, turning every detail, ranging every outcome. And now the unveiling begins. Dear one, lift up your head, for the quiet has ended, and what has been hidden is about to roar into your life with unstoppable force. I'm uncovering mysteries that were hidden from you, my child, and I need you to hear me with urgency right now, because what I reveal in this hour will separate the past from the future, confusion from clarity, despair from hope. And please understand that the veils that once blinded you are being torn apart by my own hand. Because too long, shadows have tried to distort your vision. Voices have tried to drown out my truth, and lies have tried to persuade you that your path was uncertain. But now I step in to expose every deception and to illuminate the direction I've set before you. And what once felt like a maze will unfold into a straight path, lit brightly with my presence. And the heaviness of unanswered questions will dissolve under the weight of my revelation. Because I'm the God who does not leave his children wandering without guidance. And though you felt abandoned to figure it all out on your own, I was preparing to pour understanding like rivers into your spirit, to show you that I never intended for you to live chained by confusion. So hear me now. Every hidden thing that kept you in darkness is being exposed. Every plot formed against you in secrecy is collapsing. Every thought that stirred anxiety is being quiet. And every shadow that whispered fear is fleeing at the sound of my voice. And you will begin to see clearly not only where I'm leading you, but also why the delays, the struggles, the detours were necessary. Because in my unveiling comes not only answers, but perspective, and you will marvel at how every piece fits into a design far greater than your understanding. And right now, I'm telling you, don't cling to the fragments of the old vision, because I'm expanding it, enlarging it, stretching it beyond what you thought possible. And though your mind will struggle to contain it, your spirit will leap in recognition. Because deep within you, my spirit has been whispering of this moment all along, preparing you for the day when confusion would give way to clarity, and sorrow would give way to joy, and weariness would give way to purpose. And now that day is upon you, child. It is here. It is unfolding. It is alive. And please walk boldly in it, not doubting, not shrinking, not questioning whether you are worthy, because I've made you worthy by my own sacrifice, and I've called you by name to step into this unveiling with courage, because I'm not only revealing direction, I'm also revealing hidden enemies, exposing secret snares, dismantling unseen traps, and declaring with authority that nothing concealed can remain against you. Because light always drives away darkness. And in this unveiling, you won't only see me more clearly, you will see yourself more clearly. You will recognize the strength I placed within you, the calling stamped upon you, the purpose designed for you. And you will no longer be swayed by lies that said you were too weak, too late, or too broken. Because the revelation I give you now comes as a fire to burn away deception, and as a lamp to guide your every step. And right now I'm telling you, guard this light. Carry it with determination. Let no voice steal it from you. Let no distraction blind you again. Because I'm revealing not just for today, but for the days ahead, that you might walk in confidence, that you might lead others out of their confusion, that you might shine as a beacon in the night. And so I say again, my dear one, lift up your eyes. The veils are falling, the shadows are breaking, the lies are collapsing, and what was hidden is now made plain before you. And this unveiling will carry you into victories you never thought possible. The delays you endured were not punishment, my beloved one, but carefully measured timing. And I speak this with urgency right now so that you don't mistake what seemed like denial for neglect, because I've never turned my face from you. Rather, I slowed the pace so that I could position you exactly where overflowing goodness would meet you without loss. Because blessings released too soon can crush rather than lift. Doors open prematurely can trap rather than free, and opportunities granted outside of season can wound rather than heal. And so I withheld, not because you were unworthy, but because I was protecting you from receiving what your spirit was not yet equipped to carry. And though impatience whispered that I was far, I was near, ensuring that nothing stolen would ever define your destiny. Because my desire has always been for you to stand complete, whole, and strong when the release arrived it. And right now, I'm telling you, every pause was preparation. Every quiet was strategy. Every seeming standstill was a shield wrapped around you. Because the enemy longed to push you into places that look good on the surface, but were poisoned at the root. And had I allowed you to enter those spaces without my timing, you would have been harmed in ways you could not see. But now that the season has turned, now that the waiting has matured, now that your roots have grown deep, I'm bringing you into a place where what flows can't be reversed, what is given can't be taken, and what is released can't be spoiled. Because I, the Lord, have appointed this moment. And I declare with urgency right now that what you are about to step into is no ordinary portion, but abundance, measured by my own hand. And though you questioned if you had missed your chance, I assure you, nothing was lost, nothing was wasted, nothing was delayed beyond its appointed time. And soon you will see how every detour was protection, how every unanswered request was mercy, how every closed path was kindness. Because I did not create you to live with fragments, but to walk in fullness, and that fullness is now approaching like the rising of the morning sun, unstoppable, undeniable, spreading light across every area of your life. And as it rises, you will no longer mourn what was withheld, because you will recognize that what is arriving is far greater than what you once thought you needed. And right now, I'm telling you, brace yourself, not for disappointment, but for overwhelming goodness, not for scarcity, but for overflowing provision, not for struggle, but for victories stacked one after another. Because the time of holding back has ended, and I'm releasing a measure of favor that will not only lift you, but also sustain you through what is coming next. Because I don't give halfway. I don't release partially. I give until the cup overflows. And I'm preparing to do that in your life now. So lift your head high, steady your heart, sharpen your faith. Because the delay has accomplished its work, and you are standing on the threshold of manifestation that no power can halt, no voice can cancel, no hand can block. And right now, I call you to believe again, trust again, hope again. Because what I'm pouring out will prove that the waiting was not in vain. And you will testify that my timing was perfect. My covering was faithful, and my plan was always greater than your imagination. The doors you knocked upon with trembling and tears are now unlocking, my dear one. And I speak with urgency right now. Because please get ready to walk through without hesitation. Because the openings that rise before you are not small passages, but wide gates designed by my hand. And once you step inside, no one will be able to shut them again. No adversary will be able to bar them. No opinion will be able to close them. Because I'm the one who opens, and no man can shut. And I'm doing this so that you will know it was not human effort, not influence, not connections that brought this breakthrough, but my own authority breaking through barriers that stood immovable for years. And though you grew weary knocking, though you grew discouraged waiting at locked entrances, I've come to turn the key. And I declare with urgency right now that this turning can't be reversed, because what is loosed now was bound for a season. But I decree freedom over what belongs to you, and you will see how quickly everything shifts, how walls crumble, how opportunities align, how paths straighten, and you will marvel that what resisted you suddenly welcomes you, that what denied you now embraces you, that what ignored you now honors you. Because I'm changing the atmosphere around your name. And where rejection once echoed, favor will now speak loudly and right now. I'm telling you, don't shrink back in fear when these doors open. Because the temptation will be to question if you are ready. But I'm saying to you now, I've prepared you in quiet. I've shaped you in storms. I've refined you in waiting, and you are ready to step into what I've ordained. So don't delay, don't doubt, don't pause. Walk boldly through the thresholds I present. And as you do, understand that these are not ordinary doors. They are gateways into assignments, into blessings, into callings, into provision, into relationships, and into victories that will ripple beyond your life into generations yet to come. Because I'm not only answering your prayers, I'm answering the cries of those connected to your destiny. And right now I remind you, every no you faced before was not rejection, but redirection. Every closed opportunity was my mercy shielding you from harm. Every delay was my kindness preserving you for this very unveiling. And now that the doors swing wide, you will realize I withheld nothing good from you. I only preserve the best until the appointed moment, and that moment is now. It is unfolding before you. It is stretching out like a path of light, and I command you to move forward. Because the doors are not opening so that you can stand at the threshold in wonder. They are opening so that you can enter and occupy, so you can build and plant, so you can inherit and prosper, so you can testify and shine. And I warn you with urgency right now. Dear one, don't let fear or hesitation keep you standing outside any longer. Because the enemy will whisper that you are unqualified, that the timing is unsafe, that the opportunity is too great. But those are lies to steal your courage. Because I myself am walking ahead of you into these places. I myself am securing what waits beyond the doorway. I myself am placing favor in the hearts of those you will encounter. And I myself am ensuring that no weapon formed against you will prosper inside these new spaces. So walk boldly, walk confidently, walk expectantly, for these doors have been reserved for you. And as you pass through, you will know with certainty that the tears you shed knocking were not in vain. The prayers you lifted were not wasted, and the persistence you carried has been honored in heaven. Because now the doors stand open, and they will remain open until you have fully received all I prepared for you within them. I've seen the schemes of those who plotted against you, and right now I'm telling you, their devices hold no power over what I've decreed. Because while they whispered in hidden places, imagining their words could derail your future, I was writing chapters they could not erase. And while they raised their hands to strike, I shielded you so that not even one blow could destroy what I've built within you. And I say now with authority, every weapon designed to harm you has been dismantled before it could pierce. Every curse spoken against you has dissolved into emptiness. Every snare set beneath your steps has collapsed under my feet. Because I'm your defender, and I won't allow your destiny to be dictated by the intentions of men. No matter how loud they shout or how strong they appear, because I'm higher, I'm greater, I'm sovereign. And right now I need you to believe that no earthly opposition can override what heaven has spoken. And though you felt the sting of betrayal, though you sensed the weight of falsehood pressing against your name, though you saw doors closed because of lies told in dark corners, I've turned their slander into stepping stones. I've taken their venom and made it the soil for your growth. And I've allowed their hostility only to magnify the testimony of my covering. And right now I'm telling you, don't waste another moment fearing what man can do. Because I'm surrounding you with fire that no hand can penetrate. And I'm lifting you above the reach of those who long to drag you down. And I'm making their threats powerless, their judgments void, their accusations lifeless. Because when I declare you are mine, no opinion can change it. When I affirm your calling, no voice can cancel it. When I anoint your path, no enemy can block it. And please understand with urgency right now, that every attempt made to break you has become evidence of my preservation. Every assault has proven my strength within you. Every attempt to quiet you has only amplified the sound of your rising. And soon those who opposed you will watch in quiet as I exalt you in plain sight, not to shame them, but to prove that no weapon prospered, no word prevailed, no plot succeeded, because I stood with you when none else would. And right now I'm telling you, release the bitterness. Let go of the need to prove yourself. Do not carry the weight of vengeance, for that belongs to me. And I've already issued the verdict. You are vindicated. You are justified. You are free. And nothing said against you will cling to your life. It all falls lifeless at your feet. And in the days ahead, you will walk unhindered, unafraid, unashamed, because I've removed the stains of accusation. I've quieted the echo of slander. I've shattered the chains of intimidation. And I'm establishing you in a place where your name will no longer be tied to what was spoken falsely, but to what I'm releasing truly. And right now I urge you, lift your eyes up, fix your gaze, move forward, for the enemies who rose against you will stumble on their own snares. They will fall by their own words. They will be undone by their own schemes. And you won't need to lift a hand, because my justice is complete. And you will walk in peace, knowing that I, the Lord your God, have seen, have acted, have defended, and will continue to be your shield forever. Every false word spoken about you is falling powerless to the ground, my dear one. And right now I declare that no lie will cling to your name. No distortion will define your story. No rumor will mark your future. Because I'm the truth, and in my presence deceit can't stand. And though people may have tried to clothe you with garments of accusation, I strip them away and robe you in honor, dignity, and righteousness that comes from my own hand. And right now, I'm telling you, stop carrying the weight of words never birthed in truth, because they are empty shadows that vanish at the brightness of my light. And I won't allow you to be imprisoned by labels spoken out of envy, fear, or hatred, because I'm the one who names you. And my naming overrides every false title, every false narrative, every false judgment placed upon you. And while others may have rejoiced in seeing you misunderstood, I'm writing their narratives and silencing their claims, because I alone hold authority over your destiny. And right now I say, let your heart no longer rehearse their words. Let your mind no longer replay their opinions, because their speech has no weight before my throne. And I've rendered their sentences void, their accusations hollow, their curses broken. And you will begin to see how quickly lies unravel when truth rises. How swiftly dishonor dissolves when my glory covers you. How decisively I overturn the tables of deceit. And you will marvel that those who once shouted against you will stand speechless, unable to understand how I vindicated you without you raising a defense, without you proving a case, without you fighting for recognition. Because I myself fought for you. I myself spoke over you. I myself cleared your name. And right now, I need you to believe that what I speak carries eternal weight. While what man utters in falsehood is dust scattered by the wind, unable to last, unable to endure, and you will walk in the peace of knowing that slander has no future, gossip has no power, deception has no permanence. For my truth stands forever. And right now I remind you, the battle for your identity was never against flesh and blood. It was the enemy trying to smear what I've chosen. But he has failed. He has been exposed. His tactics have been shattered, and all that remains is my seal upon you, bright, unshakable, undeniable. And as you move forward, people will see my hand so clearly that they will know the words spoken before were false. And they will see the fruit I produce in your life and understand that only truth could create such abundance. Only light could bring such growth. Only my spirit could breathe such life. And right now I say, rejoice not in their downfall, but in your freedom. Rejoice not in their quiet, but in your rising. Rejoice not in their shame, but in my justice. Because I'll deal with every tongue that rose against you, and you will know I'm faithful. I am just. I'm the God who defends the innocent and lifts the pure in heart. And soon the very atmosphere around you will shift. Your name will be spoken with honor where once it was scorned. Your life will shine with testimony where once it was mocked. Your walk will radiate peace where once it was trailed by suspicion. For I've overturned the verdict. I've canceled the charges. I've declared you free, and right now I tell you, rise, child. Walk boldly. Stand tall, for truth surrounds you. My light covers you, and no lie will ever define you again. This season is not designed to crush you, my beloved one, but to reveal the unshakable foundation I placed within you. And right now, I'm telling you, the pressure you felt pressing on every side was never meant to destroy you, but to prove that my strength was sustaining you all along. Because if you had been walking alone, the weight would have buried you. Yet here you stand, still breathing, still holding on, still lifting your eyes, because my hand never released you. And please understand that what felt like abandonment was actually refinement. Because in the very moments you questioned if I was near, I was chiseling away fear, pride, doubt, and despair, so that only faith, courage, and resilience remained. And though you wanted me to remove the struggle quickly, I allowed you to walk through the fire, so that you would see that the fire could not consume what I've sealed as mine. And right now I declare, you are not fragile, you are not weak, you are not defeated. You are unshakable because I'm inside you. And the opposition you endured has become evidence of your calling. Because if there were nothing of value upon you, the adversary would not have wasted his energy. But because you carry destiny, he tried to overwhelm you. And every time he thought you would break, my spirit within you lifted you again, whispering, you won't fall, you won't quit, you won't be overtaken. And right now I say, look back and see how many nights you thought were your end, yet became mornings of unexpected mercy. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. How many valleys you thought would swallow you, yet turned into highways of deliverance. How many tears you thought would drown you, yet watered the seeds of greatness that are now sprouting forth. And know that this season was never to mark you with shame, but to crown you with testimony. Because I allowed the weight to rest upon you only to prove that my strength is greater than your weakness. And now you rise, carrying proof that storms can't erase purpose. Pain can't erase promise, and trials can't erase truth. And right now I remind you, your scars are not signs of defeat, but signs of survival. They are proof that though the enemy came against you, I carried you through. And what once felt like the end will soon be remembered as the turning point where everything shifted, where you realize that my power in you is greater than every mountain before you. And from this point forward, you will no longer see struggle as punishment, but as preparation. You will no longer interpret quiet as absence, but as strategy. You will no longer view opposition as weakness, but as confirmation, because I've shown you that when you stand with me, nothing can prevail against you. And right now, I call you to step into this new understanding. Walk with confidence. Hold your head high, because you are not a victim of circumstance, but a vessel of glory. You are not marked by what tried to break you, but by what sustained you. And you are not remembered in heaven for how much you suffered, but for how much you trusted. And because of that trust, I now release new strength, new vision, new authority upon you. And you won't walk as before, but as one who knows the storm can't define them. Because the storm has passed and you remain. The trial has ended and you endure. The weight has lifted and you rise. And right now I tell you what you carry now is heavier than gold, stronger than iron, brighter than fire. It is the testimony of my faithfulness etched into your life forever. And nothing, no one, no force, no voice will ever erase it again. I'm bringing restoration beyond imagination, not only into your own life, but flowing outward to those connected to you. And right now I'm telling you, what I'm releasing won't be contained in your hands alone, because it will spill over into your family, your household, your relationships, even into generations you have not yet seen. Because I'm the God who redeems not partially but completely. And when I restore, I return with increase. When I rebuild, I establish with strength. When I heal, I leave no trace of the wound. And right now, I speak this so that you understand. The areas of loss you thought would remain empty are being filled with more than what was taken. The cracks you thought permanent are being sealed with beauty greater than what stood before. The years you considered wasted are being repaid with fruit so abundant that others will marvel and ask how such a turnaround could even be possible. And you will answer with certainty, it was the Lord, because no human effort could accomplish what I'm about to do. And right now, I want you to see that this restoration is not limited to material things. Though provision will surely come, but it reaches deeper into broken trust, into fractured hearts, into memories that wounded you, into dreams you buried, into hopes you quiet, and I'm breathing life into them again, causing what seemed dead to live, causing what seemed beyond repair to shine with new brilliance, causing what seemed forgotten to rise into remembrance before my throne. And as I restore, I don't simply return what was lost. I multiply, I enlarge, I increase. Because my promise has always been that I'll repay double for your shame. I'll grant beauty for ashes, I'll give joy for mourning. And right now I'm telling you, prepare yourself, for the restoration will arrive suddenly, without warning, in ways you never expected. And it will quiet every doubt, overturn every fear, and bring tears of awe to your eyes. Because my hand is moving swiftly to return what the enemy devoured. And not only will you receive, but those tied to you by blood, by covenant, by destiny, will also taste of this blessing. Because I'm turning households around. I'm healing family wounds that stretched for years. I'm bringing prodigals back into arms of love. I'm softening hearts hardened by bitterness. I'm lifting burdens that weight entire generations. And right now, I'm telling you, don't think this restoration is small, because it will echo, it will ripple, it will spread. And as it spreads, you will see laughter where there was weeping. You will see unity where there was division. You will see hope where despair had rooted itself. And all will know it was my doing. Because no effort of man can restore on this scale. Only I can rebuild what was shattered and make it more glorious than before. And right now I say, stand ready. Lift your hands, open your heart, because the waves of restoration are already rolling toward you. They are carrying blessings into your life. They are carrying healing into your body. They are carrying reconciliation into your family. They are carrying provision into your lack. And they won't stop until the fullness of my promise has been delivered, until you and those connected to you stand in the overflow of my goodness. And right now I remind you, when I restore completely, leaving nothing broken, nothing missing, nothing unfinished. And that is what I'm doing for you now. Watch as everything begins to live again. You have wondered many times if your prayers truly reached my throne, if they ascended beyond the ceiling above you, or if they dissolved in the air unheard. But right now, I tell you now, not one word you spoke to me in faith has ever vanished. Not one cry has gone unnoticed. Not one whisper has been ignored. Because every utterance that poured from your heart has been recorded before me, sealed in heaven and preserved for its appointed moment. And though you thought quiet meant absence, it was instead my assurance that I was listening with full attention, waiting for the precise moment to answer in ways greater than your imagination. And right now I'm telling you this because please no longer doubt. Your prayers are powerful. Your voice matters to me. Your petitions stir my heart. And even when you prayed with trembling lips, uncertain if I cared, I bent low to hear you. And I caught every syllable as though it were the rarest treasure, storing it as incense in bowls that are now tipping over to release response. And right now I revealed to you, those prayers you thought forgotten are alive before me. Those midnight cries you thought wasted are echoing in my presence. Those whispered hopes you dared not even speak aloud are rising like a fragrance that can't be denied. And I'm moving on them even now, aligning answers, shifting circumstances, stirring hearts, and opening pathways that seemed locked for years. And you will soon see the undeniable connection between the words you released and the miracles that manifest. Because I never allow a seed of prayer to die barren. I water it, I guard it, I nurture it until it blooms in season. And right now I urge you, keep praying, keep lifting your voice, keep pouring your heart out before me. Not because I've not heard, but because every prayer builds a foundation upon which I pour greater glory. And I'm telling you now with urgency right now. Some of your prayers were not answered in the timing you expected because they were too small compared to the blessing I was preparing. And if I had answered when you asked, you would have settled for less than what I intended. But because you kept praying, because you kept pressing, because you kept believing even when hope felt thin, I've expanded the measure, multiplied the portion, and magnified the answer so that when it comes, you will fall to your knees in awe, recognizing that I not only heard, but that I exceeded. I overflowed. I overwhelmed with goodness. And right now I remind you that there is no such thing as an unheard prayer in my kingdom, because even the ones spoken through tears too deep for words, the ones released through groans of the Spirit, the ones birthed from desperation when language failed you, those prayers reached me louder than any shout, and I honored them, and I'm moving on them still. And soon your life will testify, not just that I heard, but that I acted, that I intervened, that I delivered. And right now, I'm telling you, my dear one, let this truth anchor you. I'm the God who hears. I'm the God who remembers. I'm the God who answers. And your prayers have never been wasted. They are the very reason breakthroughs are about to burst forth. I've gathered every tear, every sigh, every unspoken ache that flowed from your soul when words could not form. And right now I'm telling you, not a single drop has been overlooked. Because I am the keeper of your cries, the one who bends close when you groan in quiet. And I've carried those moments like treasure, storing them as proof of your faith, even when you felt weak. And though you thought your pain went unnoticed in the night, I was watching with compassion, and I was holding your sorrow as though it were precious oil poured at my feet. And right now, I need you to know those tears were not wasted. They watered the very ground where I'll cause joy to spring forth. They became rivers that nourished the seeds of destiny. They became offerings that reached my throne, speaking louder than words, declaring your trust even in brokenness. And I'm telling you now, because you did not withhold your heart, because you allowed yourself to be vulnerable before me, I'm turning every cry into rejoicing, every sigh into song, every lament into laughter. And right now I declare what you sowed in grief, you will reap in celebration. And the measure of your weeping will be the measure of your rejoicing, because I've promised beauty in exchange for ashes, gladness instead of despair. And I'll keep that promise, for I can't lie. And you will see how I transform the very moments that once haunted you into testimonies that strengthen others. How I take what was bitter and make it sweet. How I take what was heavy and make it light. And right now I remind you, I don't ignore the silent prayers of pain. I don't discard the evidence of your suffering. I record it all. I redeem it all. I restore it all. And I use it all to weave glory through your story. And though you wish the nights of sorrow had been shorter, I'm telling you right now that they have ended, and the dawn of joy has come, and you won't carry the same burden into the future. Because I'm lifting it from your shoulders. I'm breaking its hold over your spirit. I'm breathing fresh strength into your bones. And right now, I command you to believe that the season of endless tears is closing. Because I've heard, I've seen, I've moved, and I'm releasing waves of joy that will overtake you suddenly. And your mouth will be filled with laughter that can't be quiet. And the same eyes that watched you weep will witness you rejoice, and they will marvel that such transformation could happen so swiftly. But you will know it was I. It was my hand. It was my love. And right now I'm telling you again, hold fast, dear one, for every tear was counted, every cry was sacred. And I'm answering them now with joy that will overflow without end. The struggles you endured have been counted as faith, my dear one. And right now I'm telling you, every moment you chose to stand when it would have been easier to quit has been recorded in heaven. Not as failure, but as victory. Not as weakness, but as trust. Because though you thought your belief was too small, I saw that even a flicker of faith in the darkness carried weight far greater than the strength of unbelief. And I honored it. I cherished it. I multiplied it. Because faith is not measured by the size of the mountain you moved, but by the willingness to lean on me, even when nothing around you made sense. And right now I say, I've seen how you prayed even when answers seemed delayed. How you worshiped even when heaviness pressed down. How you lifted your eyes even when shadows surrounded. And I've called those moments faith. I've counted them as precious. I've written them into your story as seeds that will bear fruit. And soon you will see that not one act of trust went unnoticed. Not one sacrifice of belief was ignored. Because I'm the God who rewards those who cling to me. And right now I'm telling you, the reward is on its way. The harvest is near. The results of your faith are about to manifest in ways you never expected. And you will look back and realize that the nights you spent pressing forward against all odds were the very nights that built the foundation for the miracles now approaching. And right now I remind you, faith was never about perfection. It was about persistence. And though you stumbled, you rose again. Though you doubted, you kept reaching. Though you felt empty, you still lifted your voice. And I've honored that. And I'm releasing blessing not because you earned it, but because you trusted me through the fire. And now the fire will prove the gold within you. Because your faith has been refined, your endurance has been strengthened, your spirit has been enlarged, and right now I declare, the heavens are opening to pour out the answers that your faith has demanded. The doors are swinging wide because your faith knocked long enough. The healing is flowing because your faith would not let go. And the provision is arriving because your faith cried out for it. And you will testify that though you felt weak, your faith was mighty. Though you felt small, your trust was seen as great. And though you thought your prayers were fragile, they were powerful weapons tearing down walls. And right now I urge you, don't stop now. Do not let weariness quiet the faith you've built. Because what is coming will require you to believe even more boldly, to step even more confidently, to declare even more fearlessly. And I'll be with you in it, strengthening, guiding, empowering, so that your faith will continue to grow until it becomes not only your shield, but also a light for others to follow. And as they watch your journey, they will see that faith is not about never facing storms, but about holding on to me within them. And right now I'm telling you, you have passed through the refining fire, and your faith stands as testimony before angels, before heaven, before generations yet to come. And now it will call down rewards that will shake the very ground beneath you. Because I'm faithful to honor faith, and I'll honor yours without delay. Even in the moments when you felt weak, when your strength seemed gone, and your hands could no longer lift themselves in hope, I was shaping something inside you far deeper than you realized. And right now I'm telling you this, so that you will never again confuse exhaustion with failure. Because I was using those very times of emptiness to form a resilience in your spirit that could not be broken by pressure, a depth that could not be shaken by trial, and a strength that could not be stolen by adversity. And while you looked at yourself and saw fragility, I looked at you and saw a vessel being built for endurance, for authority, for glory. And right now I remind you, I don't measure strength the way the world does by outward appearance or physical might. I measure it by the capacity of your spirit to keep holding on to me when everything else falls away. And in those moments when you whispered that you had nothing left, I was pouring into you a supernatural stamina, a fire that would not burn out, a foundation that could carry far more than you ever imagined. And though you despised your weakness, I treasured it because in weakness my power rests fully. And I filled the very places you thought were empty with a strength that was not your own. And right now, I'm telling you, this strength was not wasted. It was not formed for comfort. It was formed for the battles yet ahead, for the assignments you will step into. Because the calling that demands a spirit refined by struggle, and you will soon see that the very things you thought disqualified you have become the evidence that you are ready. The very weaknesses you hated have become the places where my power shines brightest. And the very moments you felt broken have become the testimony that my grace is sufficient. Always sufficient, never failing, never lacking. And right now I say, don't despise the shaping process, because I used every hardship to enlarge your spirit, every disappointment to strengthen your resolve, every fall to teach you to rise again. And because of this, you now carry an authority that can't be shaken by words, by fear, or by opposition. And right now I'm telling you, I'm placing upon you assignments that require this depth, missions that require this endurance, responsibilities that require this resilience. And you will stand in places you never thought possible, not because of your own might, but because of the strength I forged in the fire of your weakness. And you will shine as proof that dependence on me is never wasted, that surrender produces true power, that brokenness invites true glory. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. And right now, I urge you, don't hide the story of your weakness, for it will become the key that unlocks healing in others. Do not be ashamed of the moments you thought were failures, for they will become testimonies that draw others out of despair. And don't think lightly of the inner battles you overcame, for they were the soil where a strength unlike any other was planted. And now it will bloom before the world, undeniable, unstoppable, unshakable. And right now I remind you, my dear one, your weakness was never a curse. It was the place where I chose to dwell most fully. And because of that, your strength now is not your own. It is mine flowing through you. And no one, no circumstance, no enemy will ever take that away. The pain you carried in quiet has not been wasted, my beloved one, because right now, I'm telling you, I was shaping you in those hidden places where no one else could see. And though you longed for someone to understand the weight you bore, I was the one who leaned close and collected every silent groan, every secret ache, every unspoken burden. And while you thought those wounds would remain scars of shame, I was preparing to turn them into marks of glory. Because what you endured quietly is now becoming the very testimony that will shine loudly. And right now, I want you to see that I don't allow pain without purpose. I don't permit hardship without harvest. I don't let suffering linger without redemption. And in every sleepless night where you pressed your face into the pillow, trying to muffle the cries of your heart, I was sowing seeds of compassion, of endurance, of wisdom, of authority that only grows in the soil of trial. And right now I say, the sorrow you carried has carved space for joy to overflow. The loneliness you walked through has opened doors for deeper connection with me. And the wounds you thought would weaken you have become the very places where my power flows the strongest. And soon you will see how what you carried in secret will bring healing to others in public. How the story of your struggle will unlock freedom for those bound by chains you once knew well. How the journey through your valley will lead many out of their own. And right now I'm telling you, stop despising the weight of yesterday, because it is the reason you are strong enough for today. And stop cursing the nights of anguish, because they are the very nights that forged a fire within you. And stop resenting the brokenness, because it has made you a vessel that carries my glory without pride, without boasting, without arrogance, because you know it was not your strength that sustained you. It was mine. And right now I say the season of silent pain is closing. but the fruit it birthed will remain. And you will carry it into new assignments, new places, new seasons where others will look at you and see not only survival but radiance, not only scars but beauty, not only endurance but transformation. And they will know that I alone could turn such pain into such strength. And right now I urge you, lift your head, open your hands, let go of the shame of what you suffered. Because I'm clothing you in honor where there was once heaviness. I'm placing crowns where there were once ashes. I'm releasing joy where there was once mourning. And you won't only walk free, but lead others into freedom. Because your pain has become the key that unlocks chains, and your story has become the evidence of my power. And right now, I'm telling you, dear one, rejoice, for the silent nights are ending, and the dawn of glory is rising upon you. Do not let fear grip your heart about what lies ahead, because right now I'm telling you, I already stand in your tomorrow, arranging what you can't yet see, preparing what you don't yet know, and securing what you have not yet imagined. And while uncertainty tries to whisper that the future is fragile, I declare it is firmly in my hands, and no power of darkness can snatch it from me. And right now I say, every resource you will ever need is already waiting. Every answer has already been set in motion. Every provision has already been marked with your name, and nothing will arrive late. Nothing will be withheld. Nothing will slip through your fingers, because I have orchestrated the days ahead with precision. And while you feared stepping forward because you thought you might stumble, I've already placed light upon your path so that you will walk steadily, confidently, unafraid, and right now. I'm telling you the unknown that intimidated you is not a void, but a canvas I've painted with blessings, opportunities, and victories. And as you move forward, you will discover that my presence is not waiting for you there. It is already there, filling the atmosphere, breaking obstacles before you arrive, and making crooked paths straight before your feet touch them. And right now, I remind you, the same hand that carried you through the storms of yesterday is the same hand that shapes the victories of your tomorrow. The same voice that spoke peace into your midnight will speak direction into your dawn. The same power that preserved you in the valley will empower you on the mountain. And because of this, you can release the anxiety about the future. You can quiet the fear that tries to steal your peace. You can walk forward with expectation instead of dread. Because I am not sending you into uncertainty. I'm leading you into fulfillment. And right now I need you to grasp this truth. The future is not something you need to fear. It is something I've already prepared. And soon you will step into days that look nothing like the ones behind you. Days filled with clarity. Days filled with provision. Days filled with new joy. Days where prayers long delayed burst forth into reality. Days where every step reveals my faithfulness in ways too great to deny. And right now, I'm telling you, even the surprises ahead that seem overwhelming will work in your favor. Even the changes that come suddenly will lead to increase. Even the shifts you don't understand will reveal my wisdom. Because I don't lead you into confusion, I lead you into destiny. And as you walk forward, you will find me in every place, opening every door, lining every meeting, protecting every step. And right now I say, don't allow yesterday's disappointments to dictate tomorrow's outlook. Because the past has no authority over the days I'm preparing. And the enemy who tried to use your memories to paralyze you will soon watch as you run freely into what I've written, unhindered, unafraid, unshaken. Because you finally believe that I'm already in your tomorrow. And right now I'm telling you, dear one, your steps are ordered. Your future is secure. And I'm waiting in the days ahead to show you goodness greater than what you ever thought possible. The resistance you faced was not a sign of my absence, but the clearest evidence of the destiny I placed upon you. And right now, I'm telling you, the battles that rose like giants were not random. They were drawn to the light of your calling. Because the enemy never fights what carries no threat. And the very intensity of the warfare you endured revealed the greatness of the purpose written over your life. And though you wondered why the attack seemed relentless, why the road seemed heavier for you than for others, I say now with urgency right now that it was because you were marked, chosen, sealed with a future too powerful to go unnoticed. And the adversary sought to stop you before you fully realized who you are. But every attempt has failed, because I turned each scheme into training, each assault into preparation, each wound into wisdom. And right now I remind you, the pressure was not to destroy you, but to announce you. The hardship was not to break you, but to prove that my strength in you is greater than the opposition around you. And the trials you thought were setbacks were actually confirmations stamped from heaven, declaring that the oil upon your life was too costly to be ignored. And right now I say, don't despise the resistance, for it has proven what you carry. It has revealed the authority you walk in. It has displayed the resilience of your spirit. And you will soon see that those very battles were the stage upon which I displayed my power through you. Because without enemies there can be no victory. Without opposition there can be no overcoming. Without trials there can be no testimony. And right now I declare your testimony is rising even now, birthed out of the fiercest resistance. Because Jed in the fire of affliction strengthened by storms that tried to bury you, and it will shine as a beacon for others to see that what was meant to destroy has become the very thing that lifted you higher. And right now I say, the attacks you endured were a sign pointing to the assignment ahead. Because the enemy always seeks to strike hardest at the place of greatest promise. And if you look closely, you will recognize that the very areas where you felt most attack are the very areas I'll use most powerfully. The very spaces where pain was deepest will be the very spaces where glory flows strongest. The very paths where resistance blocked you will be the very paths where favor overtakes you. And right now, I assure you, the opposition you faced is now losing its grip. Its voice is fading, its hold is breaking, because I've decreed that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And the season of being constantly pressed is shifting into the season of being publicly lifted, where what tried to crush you will now testify of your strength, where what tried to quiet you will amplify your voice, where what tried to bury you will serve as the soil for your rising. And right now, I call you, child, to step forward without hesitation, knowing that opposition was not a sign of failure but of value, not a sign of weakness but of strength, not a sign of abandonment but of chosenness. And you will never again look at resistance the same way, for you will see it as confirmation that you are walking in the direction of destiny. And right now, I remind you, the enemy's greatest efforts only proved my greater faithfulness, and now the evidence of your endurance will shine for all to see. I'm tearing down the barriers that have stood in your way, my beloved one. And right now I'm telling you, the walls that once seemed unbreakable are crumbling at my command. The gates that blocked your progress are swinging open. The chains that bound your steps are snapping under the weight of my authority, because nothing erected by man or by the enemy can stand against my decree. And I decree now that the path before you is cleared. The hindrances are removed, the delays are ended, and you will walk freely into what I've designed. And right now, I want you to understand this. Many of the obstacles you faced were not random. They were assignments sent to intimidate you into retreat. They were built to convince you that the promise was too far, the breakthrough too costly, the dream too impossible. But I allowed you to see them so that you could also see how powerless they are before me. And now I'm dismantling them one by one, so that you will know beyond doubt that your progress is not because of your effort, but because of my hand. And right now, I say the walls of limitation that told you this far and no further are collapsing. The ceilings that confined you are shattering. The doors that locked you out are breaking open. And soon you will realize that nothing and no one can keep you from stepping fully into my will. Because I'm the God who split seas for my people, who made rivers and deserts, who leveled mountains for the sake of those I love. And right now I remind you, I'm doing the same for you now. I'm making the impossible possible. I'm straightening paths that twisted against you. I'm removing voices that tried to block your way. I'm silencing forces that rose to stand in front of you. And where there were once obstacles, there will now be clear passage. Where there was once resistance, there will now be ease. Where there was once struggle, there will now be victory. And right now I'm telling you, don't hesitate when you see these walls falling. Do not wait in fear when the way opens, because the tearing down is not for you to stand and watch, but for you to move forward boldly, to walk into territory you thought you could never reach, to claim ground that once felt unreachable, to occupy places that once seemed closed. And right now, I declare the tearing down is not only external, but internal, because I'm removing lies that kept you small, fears that held you back, doubts that caged your faith, and I'm breaking them apart so that you walk in liberty of spirit, as well as in freedom of circumstance. And as you rise into this freedom, people will see with their own eyes that what was once impossible is now reality. They will marvel that the walls that stood for years fell in a moment. They will wonder how doors locked for generations opened for you. They will ask what power could have broken such barriers, and you will testify it was the Lord. Because right now I'm telling you, it is I who fight for you, I who clear the way, I who remove the obstacles, and I who bring you into a place of open doors, open skies, open favor, and open blessing. And right now I remind you, dear one, there is no wall that can remain standing when I've decreed your freedom. And you will walk unhindered from this moment forward. The blessing that is approaching won't merely meet your necessities, but will spill over with abundance. And right now I'm telling you, this outpouring is not ordinary. It is not measured by the limits of your expectation. It is pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Because I'm not a God of scarcity, but of overflow. And I desire for you to walk not in lack, but in sufficiency and more. Because what I am releasing is designed to cover every hidden gap, to fill every empty vessel, to restore every dry place, and still remain so plentiful that it flows outward to touch others around you. And right now I say, you won't live by scraps or survive by fragments, because I'm seating you at a table prepared in the presence of all who doubted. And upon that table I'm setting portions that can't be consumed in one sitting. blessings that won't run out, provision that won't fade. Because what I pour out is not temporary, but sustaining. And right now I remind you, the increase is not just for your comfort, but for your calling. Because I bless so that you may bless. I pour into you so that you may pour into others. I fill your cup so that it overflows and becomes a river, and those connected to you will drink from its streams. And right now I'm telling you, no more living in cycles of just enough. No more wondering if tomorrow will hold what today lacks. No more surviving on pieces when I've promised fullness. Because the season of shortage is closing, and the time of divine supply is opening before you. And soon you will look around and realize that where there was once emptiness, there is now surplus. Where there was once anxiety, there is now peace. Where there was once fear of not having enough, there is now confidence that my provision never fails. And right now I say, don't hoard what I'm releasing. Do not clutch it in fear as though it might disappear. Because I'm the source and I don't dry up. And as you release freely, you will find more returning. As you give generously, you will see greater measure poured back. As you extend your hand to others, you will discover that your storehouses only grow larger. And right now I warn you, the enemy will attempt to whisper that this blessing is fleeting, that please cling to it in panic, that please guard it with selfishness. But I say, trust me, for I'm not sending a trickle, but a flood. I'm not giving a portion, but a river. And what I provide can't be stolen, can't be diminished, can't be cut off, because I'm the God of more than enough, and right now I declare, this abundance will quiet the voice of fear, this increase will break the spirit of poverty, this overflow will prove that my hand is upon you, and others will see and know that it was not luck, not chance, not human effort, but divine supply. And they will be drawn to my goodness through your testimony. And right now, I'm telling you, prepare your heart to carry more. Prepare your hands to hold more. Prepare your spirit to release more. Because what I'm about to do will exceed your imagination and leave you with only one response. All that I, the Lord, have done it. I'm writing your story, my beloved one. And right now, I'm telling you, the pages that once carried sorrow, rejection, and disappointment are being turned, and a new chapter begins where honor, fulfillment, and joy will overflow. Because I don't leave you defined by yesterday's failures or limited by past wounds, but I take the pen in my hand and I author a testimony that quiets the accusations of those who doubted you. And though they thought your ending was already written, I'm declaring with urgency right now that I'm the author and the finisher. And no one else has the authority to close your book. Because what I'm writing now will astonish even you. And right now I say, the narrative others spoke over you is erased. The labels they placed upon you are removed. The limitations they wrote into your future are destroyed. And my words alone will remain. My decree alone will stand. My plan alone will prevail. And soon your life will shine as living proof that I can take the rejected stone and make it the cornerstone. That I can take the one overlooked and set them in places of visibility. That I can take the story dismissed by many and turn it into a song that nations will hear. And right now, I want you to grasp this truth. I'm not merely editing your story. I'm writing it completely, transforming the very places where shame once lived into platforms for glory, turning the very situations that were meant to break you into testimonies that will build others. And where once you were quiet, I'm now amplifying your voice. Where once you were hidden, I'm now placing you in light. Where once you were counted last, I'm now calling you first. And right now, I declare every place where you felt misused, misunderstood, or misjudged will become the very place where my vindication rises. Because I'm lifting you above the noise of accusation and setting you in a position where no voice can deny what I have done. And right now I urge you, don't cling to the old pages. Do not read the chapters that wounded you. Because I've already turned the page. I've already begun the new. And if you will trust me, you will step into a story so radiant that it will quiet every whisper of shame, so powerful that it will heal even the memories of the past. So undeniable that those who doubted you will be forced to acknowledge my hand. And right now I remind you the power of your story is not in how it began, but in how I finish it. And I'm finishing it with glory. I'm finishing it with blessing. I'm finishing it with victory. And soon you will see that the end of one painful season was only the beginning of a miraculous rite. And right now I'm telling you, dear one, walk boldly into the pages I'm unfolding. Because your life will no longer be remembered for what you lost, but for what I restored. No longer for where you fell, but for where I lifted you. No longer for how you were doubted, but for how I exalted you. And every chapter ahead will testify. This story belongs to the Lord. My timing is about to reveal why the waiting was necessary for your protection. And right now I'm telling you, dear one, every delay that caused you frustration was not denial, but preservation. Because had you received what you longed for too soon, it would have harmed you, drained you, or collapsed under its own weight. But I, in my wisdom, shielded you from outcomes you could not see. And while you questioned whether I was listening, I was actively guarding you from dangers hidden beneath opportunities that looked appealing. And right now, I want you to understand this. I'm not cruel to withhold. I'm kind to protect. I'm not absent in the waiting. I'm deeply present, ranging unseen defenses, routing your steps away from traps that would have ensnared you. And though you felt denied, you were actually preserved. Though you felt overlooked, you were actually hidden under my wings. Though you felt late, you were right on schedule with the rhythm of heaven. And right now, I declare the moment you step into now will uncover the wisdom behind every pause. You will see clearly why I closed certain doors, why I ended certain connections, why I rerouted your path, and you will thank me for not giving you what you begged for, because what you desired then was smaller than what I intended. And what you thought was perfect timing would have crushed you. But my timing will now prove to be flawless, because it brings not only the blessing, but the capacity to hold it. Not only the opportunity, but the strength to sustain it. Not only the miracle, but the wisdom to steward it well. And right now, I remind you, the waiting has been your shield. The quiet has been your shelter. The hiddenness has been your safety. And now that I bring you forward, you will rise without the baggage that would have weighed you down, without the wounds that would have weakened you, without the distractions that would have stolen from you. Because I've removed them in the waiting. And right now, I call you to trust what I'm doing. Because you are stepping into a fullness that could not have arrived any earlier. And when you see the magnitude of what I release, you will understand that I was never late. I was never slow. I was never indifferent. I was always aligning the pieces so that nothing could be missing when the moment came. And right now I'm telling you, this unveiling of timing will quiet your doubts. It will heal the wounds of delay. It will shift the way you see every season. and you will walk with a new confidence, knowing that I'm never careless with your future, never reckless with your path, never inattentive to your cries, but always intentional, always precise, always perfect. And urgently I say the moment has arrived, the season has turned, the covering has done its work. Now you will step into blessing released at the safest and strongest time for you. You will testify that my timing was not just right, it was perfect. The chapter behind you cannot hold the wonders I'm about to reveal. And urgently, child, I tell you what's ahead is too great to fit inside yesterday's pages. The old season served its purpose. Now it must close so the new can fully unfold. Though you feel pulled to hold what's familiar, I urge you to release your grip. Familiarity becomes a cage when I am calling you higher. That ending was never meant to carry the weight of your future. It was training ground for greater things. And urgently I say, do not weep over what I am closing. Do not mourn what I ask you to leave. The glory waiting for you will make the pain of leaving fade like night before morning. And urgently I tell you, I am not erasing the past. I am fulfilling it. I am not discarding what was. I am completing it. I am turning the page so you don't remain trapped in cycles too small for what I'm about to pour out. The former season was too small for the dreams I planted, too narrow for the blessing prepared, too limited for the vision I am expanding. And urgently, I declare it is time to step beyond the borders of yesterday and walk into the wide-open fields of tomorrow, where the harvest waits, where promises are ready, where doors already stand open. Though the last chapter held tears, disappointment, and delay, the next will carry laughter, fulfillment, and sudden breakthrough. And urgently, remember, you cannot cling to ashes while I offer beauty. You cannot hold what has ended while I breathe life into what is beginning. You cannot stay in mourning while I clothe you in praise. I am not leading you backward. I am moving you forward. And urgently I tell you, even what felt wasted will be redeemed. Opportunities you thought gone will return in greater form. Time you thought lost will be repaid with acceleration. You will see that yesterday's pain was soil for today's fruit. And urgently I say, let go of the fear that moving forward means losing what you love. What is true and from me will follow you into the new, but what was never meant to remain must stay behind. Though release feels painful, it is necessary. You cannot step into greater while carrying what belongs to lesser. And urgently, I promise, the new chapter will not disappoint. It will not be empty. It will not lack. I have written it with my own hand, filled it with my own goodness, and sealed it with my own spirit. When you walk in it, you'll see every ending was a hidden beginning. And urgently, child, do not cling to what cannot hold your future. What lies ahead is far greater than what you leave behind. Do not cling to what I remove, my child. Urgently, I tell you, what I take from your hands is not punishment, but preparation. I cannot pour new wine into old skins, nor release greater blessing into hands still clutching what has expired. Though it hurts to let go of what you once treasured, trust that what I remove can no longer carry you where I am leading. And urgently know this, I never strip to leave you empty. I clear space so fullness can come. I never uproot to leave barren ground. I prepare the soil for better fruit. I never close your hand around loss without intending to open it around increase. Urgently I say, release the relationships that drain, the opportunities that distract, the positions outside my will, the habits that slow you, the fears that weigh you down. They cannot travel with you into the season I prepared. Though your heart grieves, you will soon see my removal was mercy in disguise. My pruning kindness, my stripping protection. I know what lies ahead, and I know what would keep you from it if it remained. Urgently, every time I take, it is to give more. Every time I close, it is to open wider. Every time I end, it is to begin greater. The sooner you release, the sooner I can fill. The sooner you yield, the sooner I can bless. The sooner you surrender, the sooner I can complete the work. Urgently I declare, do not fight me when I pull things away. Resistance prolongs waiting, trust and obedience accelerate rising. You may not understand now why some things left, but you will thank me that I protected you from what you thought you needed. Urgently I say, let go with open hands. Open hands receive. I am ready to pour what cannot be measured, denied, or contained. You will testify that what you called loss was exchange, what looked like ending was beginning, and what seemed like broken pieces were being reshaped into something stronger, more beautiful, more purposeful. Urgently remember, I do not take to wound, I take to heal. I do not strip to shame, I strip to strengthen. I do not prune to punish, I prune to multiply. What feels like loss today will be revealed as gain tomorrow. Trust me, child, even when it hurts. You will soon see every removal made room for greater glory. Those who walked away were not losses, beloved, but pruning. Urgently I tell you, their leaving was not abandonment, but alignment. I will not allow voices that dishonor your destiny to tie themselves to your journey. Though their departure cut deep, it protected your calling. Not everyone can walk where I'm leading you, carry the weight of your purpose, or stand in the light of your rising. Urgently, I allowed some to step away so you could discover your strength is anchored in me, your confidence built on my word, your future sustained by my faithfulness. Though you cried and wondered why they left, you will rejoice that I removed them before they could limit, betray, or silence you. Urgently, their absence created space for those who truly support, who walk in truth, who celebrate your growth, who complement your anointing, who strengthen your spirit. Urgently I declare, you were not abandoned, you were preserved. Not rejected, redirected, not discarded, refined. Everyone meant to stay has remained. All meant to go has been removed. I know every motive. I will not allow hidden deceit to entangle you, secret envy to poison you, or quiet disloyalty to weaken you. Urgently I urge you, do not mourn those who left. Do not chase what I released. Do not rebuild what I tore down. If you return to what I removed, you will carry unnecessary weight into new places. Urgently, I promise to surround you with covenant people, not convenience people, those who sharpen, not drain, who pray, not plot, who honor, not mock. When they come, you will understand why the others had to leave. Separation is never easy. Pruning cuts deep. Without pruning, there is no fruit. Without separation, there is no multiplication. What seemed like subtraction was preparation for increase. Very soon you will see abundance grow from branches you thought were broken. You will know I never took anyone from you without intending to replace them with greater love, stronger support, deeper alignment, and truer friends. Urgently I say, lift your head and dry your tears. You were not left empty, you were made ready. What is coming will prove the pruning was for growth. I am aligning divine connections for you, beloved. Urgently, these are not ordinary relationships, but assignments from heaven to walk with you, lift you, sharpen you, cover you, rejoice with you when favor appears. I never meant you to journey alone, nor for you to be tied to the wrong companions. I allowed seasons of separation so those I send now would be true and tested. Urgently, the people entering your life will carry hearts like mine, hands that won't drop you in storms, voices that won't waver under lies, spirits that complement what I'm building through you. Covenant connections are forged in prayer, not convenience, sealed in spirit, not appearance, rooted in truth, not manipulation. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Those I align will stand when the ground shakes, believe in the calling on you when you doubt yourself, intercede when you have no words, and hold your arms up when the battle feels heavy. Urgently, this alignment is strategic. You are stepping into assignments too great to carry alone. Company will either lift or weigh down. So I'm weaving a circle of strength, a family of faith, a destiny tribe who push you forward. Urgently, discern carefully who I send. Not every voice may access your heart. Not every hand may hold your vision. Not every ear may hear your secrets. I will show you by my spirit who carries truth and who wears disguise. You will know them by their fruit, by the peace in their presence, by the leap in your spirit when they speak. Urgently I declare, as I align these connections, doors will open no one can shut. Opportunities will arise beyond explanation. Victories will manifest that no one can take credit for. The right voices silence confusion. The right hands guard your back. The right companions multiply strength. Where 2 or 3 gather in my name, I am there. As these alignments come, isolation will lift, loneliness will break, and you will stand in new strength, helped, not hindered, completed, not competed with. Urgently I say, be ready. They are coming quickly. You will know they're sent by me because their presence brings clarity, peace, and confirmation that I heard your prayers for companionship and am answering with connections that carry you into the fullness of your calling. The tables are turning in your favor, beloved. Urgently, I tell you, the places you were overlooked will be the places you're honored. I am shifting the balance back to front, margins to center, dismissed to chosen. You felt invisible and forgotten, but I've watched closely and prepared a moment where your rising comes by my decree. Urgently, do not think this turning is small. It is dramatic, undeniable, sudden. I lift the humble and bring down the proud. I exalt you so the world sees I defend my children, reward faithfulness, and never forget those who trust me in secret. Urgently I declare, those who laughed at your struggles will witness your triumphs. Those who mocked your faith will watch your testimony. Those who tried to silence you will hear your voice amplified, and they will know I turned the tables. Do not carry bitterness. I'm not raising you to shame others, but to show my justice, my timing, my vindication. The lifting will be so evident, no one can deny, claim, or reverse it. Urgently, you will step into rooms that once shut you out, sit at tables that once denied you, walk through opportunities once out of reach. It will happen swiftly, without warning or striving, because I open the way. I set you before leaders. I establish you on higher ground. And urgently, this turning is not to make you proud, but fruitful. Positions are for influence, impact, and my kingdom. I can trust you because you learned humility in the wilderness, dependence in hidden places, and faithfulness when no one watched. Urgently, what's coming will overwhelm you with joy and carry weight and purpose. I lift you so many are lifted, healed, and set free. Prepare for the shift, it is already in motion. The tide is changing. Soon you will stand in places you never imagined, testifying that the God who saw you low has raised you high, and his faithfulness has no end. Hidden treasures delayed are being released into your hands, beloved. Urgently, what was concealed is being uncovered. I stored blessing, wisdom, opportunity, and resource for an appointed time, and that time is now. You thought your labor was forgotten, your tear-soaked seeds lost in yesterday's soil. But they grew beneath the surface, and suddenly they will spring up into a harvest beyond what you imagined. Urgently, these treasures are not only material, though I'll provide in abundance. They are insights, strategies, creative ideas, and connections that unlock doors you could not open. I hid them from the enemy and kept them until your spirit could carry them. Now I place them as undeniable gifts. You wondered why others advanced while you waited. Urgently, I was not withholding to punish, but preserving to protect. Treasures given before the heart is steady can snare instead of bless. Because you were refined, endured, and remained, I can trust you with what I now release. Urgently, these treasures will bless those connected to you. Generational, expansive, overflowing. They will touch your household, your community, even strangers blessed by overflow. These are not only possessions, but keys to new assignments, open opportunities, and influence. What was hidden will become visible. Sudden revelation for decisions, provision right on time, connections that shift everything overnight, treasures of timing, alignment, and destiny. Urgently, do not fear when I pour more than expected. This is not a trickle, but overflow. Do not shrink back as unworthy. I have made you worthy. Do not doubt what I release. It will manifest and silence every question. Urgently, what I place now cannot be taken. I unveil it to prove my faithfulness. Some treasures you'll recognize, others will surprise you. All will carry my fingerprint and draw you closer to me. Urgently, I declare, as I release these gifts, let gratitude flow like a river. Thankfulness will guard you from pride and anchor you in humility, multiplying what I give. Share freely, bless generously, release boldly. As you pour out, I pour in. You will not lack while your eyes stay on me, the one who hid and now reveals. What I reveal cannot be undone. You feared you missed your moment, beloved. Urgently, nothing I designed for you can slip away. Nothing written in my plan can be stolen. Nothing I prepared can be lost. I hold times and seasons. What belongs to you reaches you at the appointed hour. While you watched others move forward and thought your chance had passed, I arranged timing so you'd be ready, equipped, and able to steward what I place in your hands. Urgently, your story is not late, your journey is not behind, your destiny is right on schedule with heaven's calendar. Comparison steals joy. Their pace is not yours, their path not yours, their timing not yours. What I chose for you is unique and tailored. What looked slow was steady, what felt delayed was preserved, what seemed denied was protected. Urgently, no mistake disqualified you, no misstep canceled my plan, no failure erased my design. I use missteps to redirect, failures to refine, and delays to prepare. Nothing is wasted in my hands. You asked in silence, did I miss it? Did I lose my chance? Urgently I answer, no. The moment you thought was lost returns greater. The chance you thought past reappears with more favor and certainty. I am the God of restoration. I redeem what was stolen and what was surrendered in fear. Soon, opportunities will match your calling. You will know they're from me because they won't bring confusion, stir anxiety, or drain your soul. They will carry peace, clarity, and confirmation. Urgently, stop rehearsing the what-ifs. Stop mourning roads not taken and seasons you think you lost. I am not bound by human timelines. I redeem time. I repay years in moments, make wasted seasons fruitful in an instant, reopen missed doors in ways you never pictured. Urgently, I restore the years. Lift your head. You haven't missed your moment. You're walking into it. What you thought gone will circle back stronger. Doors once closed will unlock again. Dreams thought dead will stir to life. Assignments you believed handed to another wait for you, preserved until you were ready. Urgently, nothing I ordained for you will pass you by. What I decree will come to pass, and my word over you will not return empty. What you lost across years is not gone forever, beloved. Urgently, I am the Redeemer of time. I restore what felt unreachable, multiply what seemed wasted, and revive what looked beyond hope. Seasons you mourned and relationships you thought beyond repair are in my hands. I breathe life into what was buried and return more than you thought was gone. Urgently, I don't give back the same. I give back with increase. I repay with overflow. I restore so that the ending is greater than the beginning. Grief is swallowed by joy. You thought struggle years were wasted, but nothing surrendered to me is ever wasted. I turn ashes to beauty, mourning to dancing, barrenness to abundance. What looked like lost time was hidden seed, and now those seeds will burst forth suddenly. What took others decades will come in accelerated moments. I make up for years locusts devoured, redeem nights you wept, restore strength you thought gone. Urgently, you will not exit this season empty. You will leave with more than you carried in. Blessing will silence the sting of loss. Do not mourn what was removed. I will replace it with something greater, truer relationships, stronger provision, redeemed time becoming clarity, acceleration, and advancement. You argently, I tracked every loss and counted every cost. I restore and multiply beyond measure until you stand in awe. This restoration is not only for you, but for generations. Inheritance you thought lost will return. Promises you thought skipped your house will be fulfilled. Blessings delayed will fall on you and your children's children. I restore across bloodlines and years. Urgently stand ready. Restoration will come suddenly and unexpectedly. A door you thought sealed will open with favor. A well you thought dry will flow again. A dream you buried will rise with breath and strength. When it happens, you'll know I was never late or absent. I was preparing the return so it leaves no doubt it was my hand. Urgently, what you lost in years I restore in moments. The testimony will be greater than the pain. I am the Lord who restores all. I am releasing clarity where there was confusion. Beloved, urgently, the fog that blurred your vision, the uncertainty that froze your steps, and the questions that weighed your heart are lifting now. I am not disorder but peace, not chaos but direction. I speak with precision so you know the way to walk. Urgently, the distractions that swirled, the conflicting voices, the lies that twisted my will, I am silencing them, leaving only my steady voice. You asked, what's your plan? Which path? Urgently, you will move from guesswork to guidance, from stumbling to sure steps. I place light on your path that doesn't flicker. Do not fear wrong choices. When you stay surrendered, I redirect if you drift and realign if you veer. I am committed to your destiny. Clarity will come with repeating confirmations, aligning signs, and peace that anchors you, even on unfamiliar roads. Urgently, you'll know it's me because confusion breaks, fear loosens, and your heart senses my presence whispering, this is the way, walk in it. This clarity touches your household, work, relationships, and assignments. Where indecision stood, I give direction. Where delay lingered, I give momentum. Where tension rose, I give resolution. Urgently, I'm not leaving you to a maze. I'm giving you a map, my spirit within, guiding, teaching, reminding you of truth. You'll look back and see uncertainty was training to recognize my voice above all others. Urgently, the noise won't drown my words. The confusion won't paralyze your steps, and the enemy won't chain your progress with doubt. I sharpen discernment, increase spiritual hearing, and open your eyes to see beyond the surface. You won't fall into traps or be ensnared by hidden schemes. My clarity will expose lies and reveal truth. And urgently, this clarity is for you to walk in and to impart wisdom that breaks confusion in others, answers in place of problems, peace where fear ruled. I turn you into a vessel of clarity. Those who meet you will find direction because my spirit flows through you. Urgently, prepare. Clouds lift, paths clear, and you'll step forward with confidence you've never known, seeing as I see, hearing as I speak, walking as I lead. I am awakening boldness within you, beloved. Urgently, timidity that held you back, hesitation that kept you quiet, and fear that chained your steps are breaking now. I did not make you to shrink before opposition, but to rise in my strength. Urgently, I pour courage into your bones, fire into your words, and resolve into your heart so you won't be intimidated by darkness or silenced by doubt. Where you second-guessed, you'll stand assured. Where you stayed quiet, you'll declare truth. Where you avoided the battle, you'll move forward knowing victory is guaranteed because I go before you. Urgently, you are not filled with fear but with power, love, and a sound mind. Boldness is not arrogance. It is confidence rooted in me, a holy courage that refuses lies and does not tremble in storms. You will not hide, retreat, or live small when I've called you to carry greatness. I awaken the lion and stir the warrior. I fan into flame gifts buried under hesitation, and soon you'll act with a certainty that surprises even you. Urgently, this boldness is for others too. You will speak words that break chains, confront injustice, and bring truth where silence ruled. The enemy fought hard to keep you timid because he feared your voice aligned with my spirit, your steps without fear, and the breakthrough that flows from your obedience. Urgently, those days are over. Boldness will show in words and decisions. You'll take risks you once avoided, step into assignments that once overwhelmed, and say yes to doors that once terrified, knowing I back you, empower you, and fight for you. Boldness is not the absence of fear, it's refusing to be ruled by it. Courage is not mustered, it is awakened by my spirit. Urgently, as you walk in boldness, miracles follow. Healings manifest when you lay hands without hesitation. Breakthrough comes when you pray without fear of failure. Atmospheres shift when you speak with confidence in my name. Faith that refuses silence attracts heaven's response. Urgently, rise in courage. You were not made to cower, you were made to conquer. This boldness will change your life and many others through you. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I am training your hands for victory, beloved. Urgently, battles that once overwhelmed will become platforms for triumph. I equipped you in secret and taught you strength in unseen places. The warfare you thought would break you forged endurance. The storms you feared would drown you taught you to walk on waves. The opposition that tried to silence you sharpened your voice. Every struggle was a lesson, every hardship a training ground. Now you will overcome with power and authority. Urgently, do not call yourself weak. I've placed weapons in your hands that do not fail. Prayer that shifts the unseen, praise that breaks chains, and my word that pierces lies and dismantles darkness. You are not defenseless or unprepared. You are armed, equipped, and ready. When you lift your voice in faith, take your stand in truth, and move in obedience, walls crumble, giants fall, victories unfold. Urgently, these are decisive battles, breakthroughs that change your course, and victories that echo through generations. The warfare was fierce because the outcome reaches beyond you. What you conquer liberates others, heals families, and raises those who would have fallen. When David faced Goliath, it wasn't only his victory, it delivered a nation. Urgently, do not shrink from the fight. I go before you as commander, surround you as shield, cover you as refuge, and fight through you as strength. The battle is mine. I have secured the outcome. Lift your eyes above intimidation. The enemy's roar is loud, but his power is broken. His threats are fierce, but his grip is weak. What terrified you will prove smaller than you imagined, for in my presence opposition crumbles. Urgently, the season of endless defeat is over. You are entering sustaining victory. You won't win one battle and lose the next. You will rise from glory to glory, strength to strength, triumph to triumph. I establish you as more than a conqueror. This victory will not fade, it will multiply. It will not be fleeting, it will last. Urgently, every scar will shine as proof of endurance, every tear will become testimony, and every step will echo the sound of one who overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of testimony. Take courage, child. I have trained, equipped, and ordained you for this. You will not fall in defeat, you will stand in triumph. Your hands are strong, your heart is fortified, and your spirit is unshakable. The victory I give now will mark your journey with undeniable proof that I am with you always. I am stirring the fire within you again, beloved. Urgently, embers that seemed to fade, passion that felt dim, and zeal that slipped away, I breathe on them now, and they blaze brighter than before. You will not walk weary in this next season. I infuse you with renewed strength, fresh vision, and unstoppable energy that carries you further than you imagined. What felt heavy will feel light. What drained you will empower. What discouraged will fuel your drive. I ignite a flame trials cannot quench, storms cannot smother, and opposition cannot put out. Urgently, your best days of passion are not behind you. I renew you and restore youth like the eagle. What looked dormant, I revive. What seemed your greatest hunger was just a glimpse. I kindle a greater fire, one that will not flicker with time or be stolen by distraction or bow to weariness. This fire consumes doubt, burns complacency, and pushes you into bold action. It radiates through you so others catch flame from my spirit on your life. Urgently, this fire is for purpose. It gives endurance in obstacles, persistence when others quit, joy in labor, and strength in resistance. It gives vision in darkness, clarity in confusion, and courage in fear. This is a supernatural fire. No water of opposition and no wind of adversity can extinguish it. I will keep breathing on it every day. You felt drained, so you'd seek my fire. For human effort cannot sustain zeal. Only my spirit keeps the flame burning. Now I pour fresh oil, rising bright, strong. Urgently, this flame will light your household, transform your workplace, and shift every atmosphere you enter. I do not set you on fire to hide you. I set you ablaze so you shine in darkness and carry my presence wherever you go. This fire will draw others, your joy and hunger awakening theirs, your passion stirring their spirits, your devotion challenging complacency. The enemy tried to dim your flame because he feared the wildfire after your ignition. It's too late. I have breathed on the coals and the flame is set. Urgently, rise and walk in this fire. Let it fuel every word, every step, and every act of obedience. This flame marks your life and leaves a trail of transformation wherever you go. I am expanding your territory, beloved, urgently. Limits that confined you are breaking, boundaries widening, ceilings shattering. I enlarge the space where you walk, no longer contained by opinions, trapped by past failures, or boxed by fear and doubt. I stretch your borders to hold what I'm releasing. Small spaces cannot carry the weight of my outpouring, so I expand, increase, and position you in places you never imagined. Urgently, you thought your influence would stay small, your reach short, opportunities few. I am the God who multiplies, who turns little into much and obscurity into visibility. I expand your voice to reach farther, your steps to travel wider, your impact to touch nations. Stretching feels uncomfortable, but it prepares you for the abundance coming. Urgently, as I enlarge your territory, I enlarge your capacity, your heart to carry more love, your mind more wisdom, your spirit more responsibility. I strengthen your shoulders for greater assignments, deepen your roots so winds of visibility cannot uproot you, and sharpen your vision so vast horizons don't overwhelm you. Expansion requires preparation. The stretching you feel is training, not punishment. When I place you in greater spaces, you'll not crumble, you'll flourish. Do not fear the unknown ground. Urgently, I go before to prepare it, beside to guide you, behind to cover you. You are not unprotected. My hand is on every step, my favor before every move, my spirit in every place. Where doors were few, there'll be many. Where opportunities were scarce, they'll be plentiful. Where your voice was confined, it will echo. This expansion is not only for you, but through you, to build, plant, sow, and release, increase into others. They too will rise as I enlarge their ground through your obedience. Urgently, this will silence lies that said you'd stay small and break chains that said you'd never go further. I enlarge borders, and what I expand no one can shrink. What I increase no one can reduce. What I stretch no one can compress. Urgently, child, do not fear new ground. Step boldly. I give you this land. Everywhere your foot touches will bear my mark, my blessing, and my glory. I am releasing acceleration, beloved. Urgently, what took years will unfold in months. What seemed impossible in decades will happen in days. I compress time for the sake of my purpose in you. You endured slow seasons, resisted steps, stolen momentum, repeated delays. Now sudden shifts, quick turnarounds, and rapid breakthroughs will show my hand moving beyond human strength. The pace ahead will not look like before. I accelerate my work so my will is accomplished on time. Do not fear the speed. Urgently, you are not running by your power. I carry, propel, and sustain you. Where you crawled, you will soar. Where you labored without result, you will reap an overflow. Where you waited in silence, you will hear door after door open. Urgently, opportunities will appear suddenly, connections arrive without striving, and resources flow without delay. Acceleration is not chaos, it is alignment. I'm not rushing you into confusion. I'm moving you into perfect timing where everything converges. Dreams planted long ago, prayers you carried for years, promises spoken over you, colliding in a moment of divine speed. As Joseph moved from prison to palace in a day, I will shift your position in ways that astonish. One moment overlooked, the next exalted. One moment forgotten, the next celebrated. One moment bound, the next free. Urgently be ready to move when I move, act when I speak, and step through open doors. Hesitation misses, obedience keeps pace. Let go of fear that says too fast or I can't handle this. I would not accelerate you without strengthening you to sustain it. I would not speed the pace without stretching your capacity. Urgently, this acceleration will redeem years you thought wasted, recover time you thought lost, and restore seasons you thought past. It is my mercy, my sovereignty, and my power to do in moments what effort could not in years. Prepare, child. What's coming will happen quickly. The shift sudden, the promotion unexpected, the breakthrough undeniable. Embrace the pace with joy. It is proof I am fulfilling every word I spoke. I am breaking chains that held you, beloved. Urgently, restrictions that bound your spirit, cycles that repeated, strongholds that felt unbreakable are shattering by my name. Fear that silenced you, shame that pressed you, and lies that called you unworthy, broken completely. You are not called to live enslaved to past, pain, or others' words. Whom the sun sets free is free indeed. Urgently, this freedom is yours now. Do not stare at chains as if they remain. The sound you hear is their breaking. Invisible weights are cut off. Generational curses are severed. Dark patterns undone. You will not carry yesterday's burdens into today's promise. You will not remain in cages built by lies, sin, disappointment, or betrayal. I unlock the door. Walk into liberty. Freedom is not only the absence of chains, but the presence of strength. I remove what bound you and fill you with power to walk boldly into your future. I restore your voice where silence ruled, your joy where sorrow lingered, your peace where torment lived. Paul and Silas worshipped in prison and chains fell. Praise still breaks bonds. Worship still opens gates. My spirit still shatters barriers. You may feel you've lived bound too long, but no chain outlasts my word. No prison exceeds my power. I delight to deliver. The enemy said you'd never be free, always repeat cycles, and your future would mirror your past. Urgently, those lies are silenced. I declared freedom, and my decree stands. This freedom is lasting, not a moment of liberty followed by return to bondage. The deliverance I give is complete, sealed by my blood, sustained by my spirit, guarded by my presence. I broke the chains so you may run without hindrance, live without fear, and walk without shame. Urgently, this freedom multiplies. Your testimony will break chains in others. Your authority dismantles their prisons. Your anointing sets captives free. You will carry keys for others, words that dismantle lies, prayers that shatter chains. Rise now in freedom. Walk bold. Speak confident. Live joyful. Do not look back at shackles. They are broken. Lift your eyes to me. I am your deliverer, and your freedom proves I am with you. I am lifting the veil from your eyes, beloved. Urgently, haze that blurred truth, shadows that distorted, and illusions that made you doubt are removed. I give you eyes to see clearly. You will not walk half blind through decisions or stumble through uncertainty or mistake lies for truth. I open the eyes of your spirit to discern real from counterfeit, eternal from temporary, what is from me and what is not. You won't be swayed by appearances, smooth words, or false promises. I sharpen your sight with heaven's clarity. You asked, show me what's true, reveal what's hidden. And urgently I answer now. I expose motives behind smiles, intentions behind words, and foundations beneath opportunities. I reveal snares laid in secret and paths lit by my light. As I open the servant's eyes to see the armies of heaven, I will open yours to see my provision, my covering, and my hand. even when circumstances look overwhelming. Urgently, this unveiling protects and empowers. You will walk in confidence rooted in revelation, decide with discernment, and respond with wisdom that silences lies. I remove blinders of tradition, shame, and fear so you see yourself as I do, strong, chosen, equipped, beloved, prepared, unstoppable. Do not fear exposure. I reveal to heal, strengthen, and clarify. Urgently, I will also uncover treasures for you. Doors you overlooked, opportunities you dismissed, blessings you didn't recognize, depths in my word, secrets of my heart, and mysteries of my spirit. I hide not from you, but for you, and this is the season I uncover them. As I open your eyes, you will see beyond yourself, needs in others you missed, potential in the overlooked, chains behind smiling faces, and I will give you wisdom to help release them. Your sight will serve you and those around you. Urgently, you will be a voice of clarity in confusion, a light of direction in distortion, and a carrier of vision where pain clouds sight. Receive this unveiling. Do not resist what I reveal, even when it's uncomfortable. Lift your eyes, the veil is gone. See with clarity that changes how you walk, decide, and live. This is the hour of unveiled vision. With it you will move certain that I guide each step. I am restoring your voice, beloved. Urgently, the silence that covered you, intimidation that muted you, and oppression that stripped your words is breaking. I placed power in your voice. It will not be hidden. Every attempt to suppress your sound, every strategy to weaken it, every lie that said your words don't matter, I dismantle them. I made your voice a weapon and will not let it stay buried. You will speak with authority. Your words will shift atmospheres, dismantle lies, and carry my truth into places you thought unreachable. You believed silence was safety, that hiding would protect you from pain or rejection. Urgently, I did not form your mouth to stay closed or fill your heart with truth to lock it away. I placed fire in your spirit to release, not smolder. I called you to proclaim, declare, testify, and speak life. Urgently, your sound returns, not whispers but boldness, not fear but confidence, not timidity but strength. Your voice is not only for people, but for the unseen. When you pray, heaven moves. When you decree, darkness flees. When you worship, chains break. Do not underestimate your sound. Your words carry creative power when aligned with mine. I spoke worlds, and I gave you the grace to speak life, hope, healing, and freedom. No more silence while lies roar. No more bowed head while truth is trampled. Urgently, your voice will rise like a trumpet and not be silenced again. You ask, what if they don't listen? Your responsibility is not their response, but your obedience. Speak as I command, my spirit will pierce hearts. Release what I place in you, my word will accomplish its purpose. Do not measure value by applause or rejection. I give weight to your words, and they will echo beyond what you see. Urgently, your voice will bring healing, encouragement for the weary, truth for the lost, love for the broken. I will use your sound to awaken dry bones, call forth hidden destinies, and lift those who think they have no strength. Your testimony will unlock faith and open doors. As Ezekiel spoke to bones and my breath brought life, I will breathe through you when you speak. Rise from silence, shake off intimidation, open your mouth without fear. I fill it with weighty words, undeniable truth, and unquenchable fire. Urgently, child, your voice matters. I have restored, anointed, and sent it forth. Nothing will silence it again. I am awakening hidden gifts within you, beloved. Urgently, abilities you didn't know were there, talents buried under fear, and anointings you thought belonged to others are stirring now. I did not design you to live half-formed. I created layers of potential, and much remains unseen. Delay does not mean absence. The treasure I placed in you remains, and this is the hour I call it forth. The restlessness you feel, the holy discomfort pushing you to more, that is my spirit awakening what was dormant. The assignments coming require more than before. They require the fullness of who I made you to be. Urgently, prophetic sight will sharpen, wisdom deepen, creativity flow, leadership rise. What was hidden for safety is unveiled for impact. Do not fear or shrink back. I do not awaken gifts to shame, but to empower. I give according to my spirit's power, not your sense of capability. What is heavy in your strength flows with ease in mine. These gifts are not for you alone. They are for those I will touch through you. Healing for the broken, teaching for the confused, discernment to protect, intercession to shift nations. Urgently, do not hoard. Release freely, and I will pour more as you pour out. You ask, how will I know my gift? You will feel fire when you move in it, peace when you obey in it, and see fruit when you release it. Do not complicate what I make simple. What I call you to do, I empower you to do. As you step in faith, evidence will follow. Urge nextly. Your gifts will make room, opening doors no man can close, and positioning you in places you thought unreachable. Remember, gifts are tools, not trophies. Instruments of my kingdom, not badges of pride. Use them with humility and love, knowing apart from me, they have no power. The gifts I awaken will bless others and bring you the joy of doing what I created you to do. Urgently, rise in confidence and let hidden gifts flow. I placed them in you before you were formed, preserved them for this time, and now I awaken them for my glory through you. I am calling you into deeper intimacy, beloved. Urgently, surface connection won't be enough, casual prayer won't sustain, distant worship won't satisfy. I draw you into the secret place where my presence surrounds you. My voice is clear and my heart is revealed. You walked in glimpses, I want fullness, your mind aligned with truth, your spirit burning with love. I am nearer than breath, closer than heartbeat. I wait in quiet moments when distractions fade. I gave you all of me. Urgently, give me all of you. Don't hide broken pieces or bury questions. I don't reject weakness, I dwell in it. I do not despise honesty, I welcome it. Intimacy is not built on performance but authenticity. I want the real you. Urgently, in this place, you'll find strength you never knew, peace that cannot be shaken, joy that cannot be stolen. My whispers will guide you at night. My hand will rest on you by day. My spirit will speak truth that silences lies. Intimacy is your inheritance and design, friendship that storms can't break or trials shake. How do I come closer? Come as you are, consistent, intentional, wholehearted. Meet me in hidden worship. Speak to me in quiet places. Listen for me when noise fades. I'm not looking for perfection, only sincerity. Draw near to me and I will draw near to you. Seek me with all your heart, and you will find me. Hunger, and I will satisfy. Urgently, this intimacy will anchor you. When storms rage, you won't be shaken because you know my voice. When confusion rises, you won't be deceived because you recognize my presence. When the world trembles, you will stand because you are rooted in me. Intimacy is not a luxury, it is your lifeline. Without it, you wither, with it you thrive. It will overflow into every part of life, how you love, lead, speak, and serve. People will sense peace when you enter, light when you speak, and hope when you pray, not because of who you are, but because of who you carry. Urgently, I will make you a dwelling place for my spirit. Everywhere you go becomes an extension of the secret place. Draw near. Do not delay. Do not let distractions steal this invitation. I wait with open arms to reveal more of myself. Come closer. In intimacy with me is the fullness you seek. I am preparing you for greater responsibility, beloved. Urgently, what's coming carries weight that requires maturity, discipline, and surrender. I am not only blessing with gifts, revelation, and freedom, I am entrusting you with assignments that impact beyond what you can imagine. These tasks are not for your glory, but for my kingdom. To whom much is given, much is required. You prayed for increased promotion and open doors. Now I answer. Enlargement will stretch, responsibility will test, stewardship will refine. Do not resist refining. It prepares you to carry abundance without being consumed by it. Success without surrender becomes a snare. Responsibility without dependence becomes a crushing weight. Walk with me and burdens turn light. Tasks become opportunities for my power to flow through you. Urgently, do not fear what is coming. I equip you to handle it. You will not be crushed. You will rise with grace because I am with you. The responsibility I give touches many lives tied to your obedience. Souls wait on the other side of your yes. Nations feel the ripple of your surrender. Generations benefit from your choices now. This is why I cannot let you remain casual. This is why I cannot let you treat lightly what I place in your hands. Urgently, you are a steward of my mysteries, a carrier of my glory, a vessel for my purposes. Handle what I release with reverence, humility, and faithfulness. Lord, I'm not capable, you say. That is why I chose you. If you were sufficient in yourself, you wouldn't depend on me. I love to use the weak to shame the strong, the overlooked to confound the wise, the ordinary to carry the extraordinary. I do not call the qualified, I qualify the called. I am qualifying you now. Urgently, this responsibility will not drain you but fulfill you, not rob life but give purpose, not burden into despair but lift into joy. You will discover strength, wisdom, and courage you did not know because I will supply it all. The weight I place is not a chain but a mantle, not a curse but a crown. Wear it with gratitude, carry it with humility, and walk in it with boldness. You were made for this. In the end, it is not about tasks or titles. It is about love. Love for my people, the lost, the broken, the world I came to save. Keep love at the center and you will not stumble or grow cold or be swayed by pride or fear. Urgently prepare your heart. What I entrust now shapes eternity. Do not despise the weight. It proves my trust in you. Walk faithfully, and you will see my kingdom advance through your obedience. Amen.